System evaluation studies can be randomized or observational. They differ from product-specific studies insofar as the intervention is complex and system-based. For example, individualized treatment with homeopathic or anthroposophic products. But other study conditions are comparable to those of product-specific studies. Now, you have to be clear, results apply to the system-based complex intervention. They do not prove or demonstrate product-specific effects, but they can indicate a plausibility for effects of individual products used in the prospective study arm. So, altogether, we have a landscape of different types of evidence for effects of medicinal products for whole medical systems. Now, science should reflect reality, which to me seems to indicate 3 levels of evidence broadly. On the top level, you do have product-specific clinical trials. Whether double-blind or not, there are discussions about that. And on the bottom, the weaker part of bibliographic evidence. But there is scope for an intermediate level where the types of evidence I have presented would broadly fit in, as well as observational studies, as well as for homeopathy, the homeopathic provings would there fit in. It's not comprehensive. There are some other things which I didn't include to make it simple. But notably, there are no lines in this figure because the demarcation between different levels is not always straightforward. And according to the principles set down in the grade system of evidence grading of of evidence material, which is nowadays used worldwide, different types of evidence can be upgraded or downgraded, depending on the quality of the evidence, the effect size, and other factors. So, in conclusion, science-based regulatory frameworks for medicinal products for whole medical systems, such as homeopathy, anthroposophic medicine, Ayurveda, and others, should have at least 3 categories, not just 2. And the existence of an intermediate evidence level has consequences also for benefit-risk assessment. Why? Because with 2 categories only, many products from whole medical systems will fall in the lower category. We have heard it today and yesterday, where per definition, evidence is not needed to be documented, so it is considered weak or even negligible, and therefore almost no risks are accepted. This may, amongst others, pose difficulties, for example, for low homeopathic potencies. But with 3 categories, you have more flexibility, more possibility to find regulatory solutions for the large number of products and the very large number of therapy options in whole medical systems. Thank you.
Now request Dr. Khurana to close the session.
Thank you, sir. Since 2 days we have been discussing, now this session was basically dedicated to Dr. Rajesh Shah's new drug development issue and the anthroposophical part. I don't know because anthroposophy, they are also using homeopathic medicines in a different manner, and preparations are slightly different from the homeopathic way which we are taking up, and how they will fit into regulations, that needs to be discussed at 10th, but they are somewhere they are included in European side. And there was issue which was discussed before by Dr. C. Nayak, and that there are issues being discussed in our committees as asked by entry of new drug into regulations. And when it was discussed in the DTAB, the Technical Advice Subcommittee on DTAB, and they asked us to Do you have your own clinical trial guidelines for homeopathic medicines? And when we look into details of those, because in many cases, how will you fit phase 1 trial in homeopathy? This was the big debate which was going on with us, whether there is a phase 1 trial in homeopathy is available. And many medicines at the regulatory aspect, they ask, where is your phase 1 trial data of safety? And when we tell them these are homeopathic provings, they are in high dilutions, and we develop symptoms. If you develop symptoms in provings, whether they are side effects, how long they persist, whether they become considered as those kind of things. So these were the issues which were coming up as a debate matter, and then we discussed that, yes, homeopathic provings in the draft stage we have added. Now it will go to the subcommittee of DTB for further discussions. That in CCRH there is a committee which discuss all these issues, and we suggested that let there be 2 kinds of phase 1 trials in homeopathy. One is human pharmacology, the standard way of doing phase 1 trial as in allopathy, using mother tinctures for their safety and other aspects. And for potencies, where we want to do drug proving, let it be a phase 1B trial, where the objective is to get symptoms. And these phase 1 trial in homeopathy can be added as 1B, 1A and 1B. These are some of the proposals which are going to the committee for further discussions for regulatory perspectives when we have a chapter on homeopathy, and there will be some kind of a clinical trial guidelines for homeopathy should be available there. And we have drawn all those lists of reaching to first safe dose for taking up a proving, because unless it is declared as safe dose, you should not go for a human experimentation. So these are the issues which have been taken up, and I thank you both the co-speakers, and we can move forward. I think there will be a lunch break, and we'll be coming back after 45 minutes. Yeah.
Yes, just to, what we've decided is, because we've had a long session in the morning now, and I think people really need some lunch, is that and in the afternoon we have quite a lot of time for discussion, because I'm sure there's many points that we would like to discuss, so we will take that as the opening part of the forum discussion in the afternoon. So we propose that if by 3 o'clock sharp we start. So we have about an hour, almost an hour for the lunch, but definitely by 3 o'clock sharp we start. There's some delay then, but hopefully we can catch up on that. So thank you very much.
So we would all now be breaking for lunch, and we would resume in 45 minutes. That would be 14:45 to be exact. And just a small announcement, if you